Hey YouTube, it's time for another video review, and today we're going to be looking at Transformers Age of the Primes Aerial Bot Air Raid. This is another one of our combiner bots. We'll take a quick look here at the packaging. There we have the vehicle mode and a little mugshot of his robot. And we got our logos and whatnot, our little bullet points there. We got some Prime statues here. We got Onyx. I think that one's Quintus. I don't know which one the one in the middle is. We got our Superion shot there. Legal jargon. His name. And our product shots on the back. But yeah, not too much craziness going on here. So that's about it for the box. And here we have his lovely instruction and our weird legal jargon bit. Our instruction booklet. So there's that. And here we have the bot himself. And I think it's a decent looking robot, and yeah, some nice red there on the chest and plenty of white. Most of the black is on the back, and we do got an Autobot symbol there on the chest. We got some nice light blue for the eyes. It's got a little bit of a silver cap and gray for the face. We do have some weapon storage here on the wings for both vehicle and robot mode, and he does sort of have these spaz shotgun-esque blasters, so we'll go ahead and take those off here for a second. But yeah, Jet does kind of just fold up onto his back. Not too surprising, that does happen with a lot of jet formers. As far as articulation goes, he has a decently ball-jointed head. It does have some wiggle room around the neck area. It is also on a panel, so you do get a little more up and down, which is nice. You can get 360 at the shoulders, but there is some collision, so you do have to angle it. We do get a smidge over 90 at the elbows, as well as a bicep swivel. We do get a little inward at the wrist, but that's more for transformation. But hey, it's there. We do get a 360 at the waist. We do get up at the hip that far and back that far before we collide. You can sort of wiggle it back around, so pretty far back, and can kick quite a bit out to the side. Do get that bicep swivel. We do get about 90 degrees at the knee. We do get some up at the feet, as well as plenty of ankle. So yeah, am I forgetting anything? Not really. And there is some play with these tail fins. They do just come packed separately, and they just plug in. So you do have some wiggle room as far as what you want to do with those. I guess technically you could, you know, stick them here on the wings, give them a little bit more of a jetty silhouette. And you can leave these wings out to the side if you want. They just sort of tab in slightly here, just to give a more streamlined look if you wanted to. And as far as the guns, again, they can store on the wings, or you can put them in his hands. So there is that. And I do believe they are blast compatible. Yes, they are. Do be aware that it is a very tiny nub though, so you may not be able to get some of the bigger ones on there, but little ones work well enough. Actually, since these are shotguns, let's get a more sprayish looking one. Kerblam! So there's that. And we'll do a couple quick size comparisons. So here we have him with Age of the Primes Waspinator. A G2 Stunticon. His other wave mate slash squad mate, Slingshot. And we'll throw one more in. Let's do a Perceptor. Okay. So yeah, overall looking pretty solid. And yeah, overall I do dig his overall design. And you know, I am excited to see how they all look combined. I have only seen pictures of Superion because I don't actually have really any of the full combiner teams as of yet. The only one I've had up until now was the Age of the Primes Volcanicus. So it's really interesting seeing all these guys up close and personal now. And I did not realize that like all the jets were like different colors, while the robot modes were a little more uniform with the white and the red. So that was a bit surprising, but definitely interesting. Anyway, I think we can go ahead and move on to transformation now. So to start off, we'll just untab these wings and bring them out to the side. And then we are going to bring the whole cockpit assembly, as you can see that detaches there, away from his back, like so. Then, and it's been a hot minute. Right, yeah. Then we want to bring his head up. Yeah, we want to rotate his head around and then bring it up like this. No, we don't. Bring this whole assembly down like this, and there are 2 tabs here and 2 slots in his shoulders. There we go. There we go. And then we just straighten out that cockpit. Then as far as the arms, we want to fold in those hands. Fold in the hands. And there is these ports on the joints of his elbows that will go over these pegs here on the sides of his torso, like so and like so. And then we want to tab his legs together, bring these tail fins down, and this is actually probably my favorite part of this transformation, and it's actually very similar to Scrapper for the Constructicons, but you pull forward his shins, and then you want to fold his feet up, and the back of his feet, there's a tab that will plug into the back of his shin, like so. Do that for both sides. Then you want to bring them up, and his shin will tab into his thigh, like that, and like that. And then we bring these up on double hinges and bring them around and close them up here on the back. Make sure that you angle it right so that it goes over. That will come together like so. And then you can just rotate these tail fins around. And there you have him in his jet mode. And he is kind of like doing a duck squat here. Oh, and if we fold out the chest piece, we do get a landing gear. Like so. And then again, you can just put those guns on his wings. Put the guns on his wings. Like so. And yeah, that's pretty neato. And I do dig the jet mode. Given it is far from perfect, it is another robot folded up underneath a jet, so yeah. It is what it is. I mean, I don't think anyone's too terribly surprised by that. Do get 2 Autobot symbols here on the wings. I feel like they should have used a brighter red. They would have shown up better if they used a brighter red, but yeah. Some nice silver there for the cockpit. And we do have some molded in thrusters. And if you can, I don't know how it's going to show up, but there are little pegs in there. So you can get your thruster whooshing. You can get those effect parts on there. And I really appreciate that. I like being able to use effect parts for jet thrusters. It really adds to the look. Yep, ow. Effect part stabbed me in the arm. Ow. These things are pokey. But yeah. We'll do a couple of size comparisons. So here he is with Age of the Prime's Wavemate Solus Prime. Just to get an idea of how they stack up next to each other. And here we have Studio Series TF1 Prime. Later class Megatronus. And A-list B-127 Bumblebee. Just for a few comparison shots. And if you really want to, they are using essentially the same combiner skeleton format as the Stunticons. So if you want to, you can go and plug him onto your Menasor if you really want. But yeah, Superion or Silverbolt with a Superion skeleton should be coming out within the next couple of months, I think. I think it's due for August, and I'm filming this on the 1st of June, so shouldn't be too terribly long. But yeah, if you really want to see how they look on a combiner skeleton, you can use them on Menasor. I don't have mine on hand, so fortunately I can't show you. I know, worst review ever. But just be aware that that is a thing, because yeah, it's got the same ports and everything. But yeah, overall I do dig the jet black jet mode. And yeah, I do really like the transformation. Again, the jet is not perfect. It is, you know, a robot under a jet. It's not really that surprising. It's hard to get an accurate jet out of a, you know, giant toy robot, but you know, it's also, you know, on a budget, and it's gotta also be part of a combiner, so yeah, I'm not terribly surprised. And honestly, I'm not gonna hold it against it. I really do like this figure. I think he deserves an 8 out of 10 in my book. I'm really glad that they took the time to mold in those teeny little pegs for the thrusters, because having the effect parts on the thrusters is really a bonus for me, even if you can't leave them on there forever because you don't want it to mess with the plastic. But yeah, and I do dig the little like spaz shotgun blasters. I totally meant to grab my JP crossover and compare that spaz with it, but he's on the shelf somewhere, so we'll just have to pretend. But yeah, overall I dig this one. I do like this one. So yeah. But I think that is about it for this review. So I think I'll go ahead and start wrapping things up. This is Soul Prime 13 saying transform and soul out.